Hello and welcome back to the Butler Beat. I'm Shelby Sebring. With a little over a week until graduation, seniors may find themselves thankful about getting jobs or still in the search for a job. Here to talk with us today is Gary Boulou, the Director of the Internship and Career Services, as well as Brittany Dorsett, a senior who will talk about her experiences with her job internships. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thanks.
Good. So Gary, can you talk about how the Internship and Career Center goes about helping students find jobs?
Sure. Our office is really here as a resource to help students really prepare for what happens for life after college, as well as while they're here. So internships and those kinds of things. We offer all kinds of services that students can take part in, whether it's networking with professionals and networking with alumni, or working on your resume, or practicing your interviewing skills. So there's lots of services that we can offer to help students all along the way.
Could you go more into depth about the resume critiques, those kind of services that you do offer?
Sure. Our resume critiques are really a one-on-one type of service because every student's different. Everybody wants to do something different with their major. So we really talk to students about what looks good to an employer, because employers will spend about 20 seconds on your resume. So it takes a lot you have to get a lot on that page and a lot to get in order. And that's why we spend a lot of time one-on-one to find out what your career goals are and those kinds of things, so that we can make sure it looks good to any employer that you're applying to.
How about the mock interviews? How do students go about getting a mock interview with someone?
Really, it costs an hour of your time. It's not a huge amount of time, but it can pay dividends. We tell students, do mock interviews while you're here at Butler, and don't make mistakes in front of an employer. So students make an appointment with us. They come as if they were dressed for a regular interview. They bring their resume and maybe a job description, and we fire interview questions at them, and we record them as they're interviewing. So we might do 15 or 20 minutes worth of questions, and then we review the tape with them and talk about things that they did really, really well, and talk about things that if they just said it just a little bit differently, it would have made much more sense to an employer. So we spend a lot of time with them kind of practicing those interviewing skills.
Very nice. Brittany, you have a new job. Tell us a little bit about that.
I will be working with a company called Primo, and it's through the OR Fellowship. So the OR Fellowship is a 2-year commitment. There's about 25 students that got the OR Fellowship out of 1,000 applicants. So we're all really excited. We found out we got the job in December, so I've been ready for this for a couple months now, so I'm really ready for the next chapter.
So how did you hear about this job? How did you go about getting it?
Well, I went to a lot of the networking fairs that we had just throughout my college education, and the OR Fellowship was always there, so I always knew about them. It really wasn't something I thought I'd be interested in, but a lot of the professors would come up to me and be like, I put your name in as someone who they should maybe look into, and so it kind of put like a red flag at my head, or not a red flag, but like I just really grew interested. And then when they came, the current OR Fellows came for a recruitment night, I went and checked it out, and then I was like, I'll just give it a whirl. So I applied, and then there's a big, long process that you have to go through, and I just kept making it, and I just kept following my heart, and by the end of December, I knew I had a job.
Good. What have you learned about the job process thus far?
It's definitely something you have to have patience with, but you can't give up. You just have to really get your name out there, keep in touch. Networking is huge. LinkedIn, I really utilize LinkedIn to really get involved in terms of like what's out there. It's definitely a grueling process. It can be exhausting. A lot of my friends are still searching, and we graduate in a few weeks, so they're getting a little stressed, but it's just something that it's going to work out, and you just have to have hope and confidence in yourself.
Good. Gary, I saw on the website that you guys are offering a new 8-week course. It's 1 credit hour, and it's about career planning. It's a career planning course.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that.
It is actually, the course developed from a need. We heard students talking about the need that they really weren't getting a lot of help, and they wanted a lot of help in their career planning process. They didn't know where to start, so we thought we'd offer a course, just an 8-week course that will allow students to kind of go through the whole process. So learning about networking, and then actually practicing some networking by connecting them with some alumni or some folks. Getting a good resume. How do you start the process? How does it look at the end? Because a lot of students need help. So it's a whole series of workshops, but it also goes beyond just the career planning aspect. It's about transitioning from college to work. So there's going to be a little bit of financial planning in there. There's going to be a whole lot of different subjects that we talk about, but really help students prepare for what happens next.
So what type of events and programs are there for students looking for internships and jobs?
Sure. We have a lot of programs. We offer about 40 events per semester that run the gamut from, we have a program called Internship and Career Prep Program, and the Internship and Career Prep Program is really a series of workshops that are designed to help students get ready for an internship or a full-time job. So there's a job search one that teaches students how to go about, how to start a job search. There's a resume session where students can learn what looks good on a resume and where to put it. Then after that, we do a session where it's called a resume critique session, where students actually bring their document in and they meet with employers. And they actually, employers who do this for a living, sit and they talk to students about, here's what I look for in a resume and here's what I think you need to do in order to change it. We do a mock interviewing session where we teach students how to answer the 10 toughest interview questions that are out there. And then they actually, a few days later, there's a chance for them to practice those interviewing skills with real employers and alumni. We sit them down and do a session with employers and students. And then there's also another session that we do. It's called a hot topic session, and we change it every semester. Really, one that's been really important to students has been our session on salary negotiation. That's a hot button issue with students. They don't understand the process and want to learn how to negotiate a salary. So beyond that, our internship and career prep program, we offer 2 networking nights every year where they get a chance to practice networking skills with employers, and they get a chance to learn how to go about networking. And hopefully that's where you met your employer, or fellowship people. They always come to our events. So there's all kinds of workshops and all kinds of things that we do all semester long.
Brittany, what type of internships did you have leading up to getting this job?
I had 2 that were required for the College of Business, and the first one was with Archway Technologies, which is a financial software firm. Definitely something I never thought I'd be interested in doing, but they actually contacted me through seeing my profile on LinkedIn. So that's another benefit of LinkedIn, because sometimes employers can find you. And so that was the summer or the spring of my junior year. And then I also worked at Live Nation Entertainment this summer, and I'm really glad I did that, because I always thought I wanted to go into the entertainment industry, but actually getting that experience made me realize maybe it wasn't something I wanted to go in right now. So both of my internships were extremely beneficial. I learned so much about what I do want to do or what I don't want to do, so they are both great opportunities.
So what type of preparation did you have going into these internships as far as resumes, critiques?
Oh yeah, I really utilize my academic advisor and my career mentors. We have a lot of support throughout the College of Business, and so I would always, the people that I was really close with, they knew, my dreams and where I kind of wanted to head in the near future. So they really helped me cater my cover letter and resume to the different companies I was applying to, and just getting in touch with all those people. I utilized butler.experience.com, which is the Blue Experience website, to see what opportunities were out there. And you can post your resume on there and just always submit the same resume and cover letter if you want to. So Butler makes it really simple for students.
Gary, how many internships do you advise students to have before applying for full-time careers?
We always tell students that do at least one experience while you're here at Butler, regardless if it's required. If it's required, do 2. Because what we hear from employers is, I think there was a survey recently that said 58% of employers will only hire students that have done an internship with them. So that tells students that they really need to get that career-related experience while they're here. So we really recommend at least one while you're here.
And Brittany, what advice would you give for next year's seniors starting to look for jobs?
I would definitely start early. And really take your professor's advice. If they recommend something for you, give it a shot. Even if it's something you think you weren't interested in, just really go into it open-minded, and just be ready for any challenges that may come ahead. And really use the Career Center. I mean, obviously, you want to get a lot of practice in. And yeah, just really take your cover letter and resume very seriously. Just like Gary said, they don't spend much time looking at it, so you really want to stand out. So prepare and think ahead.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Butler Beat. I'm Shelby Sebring.